Hi everyone, a second video of making our Painty papers, collage papers, and all you need is cheap acrylic paint or cheap, I don't know, finger paint, whatever you can put your hands on, and any kind of paper, only not sketch paper, and I will explain. So I'm going to use today just printer paper and maybe some deli paper and all kinds of paints. I've got, these are some cheap gouache paints that we give for kids, and it's great for this kind of project. I've got all kinds of craft paint. This is a deco art paint, acrylic paints, and I've got some, I don't know if I will use them, some acrylic paint from the cheap store. So you just need some paper and you need some plastic card. Now the only thing you're going to do is just scrape the paint on the paper. Now I will pick, let's see, I'm just going to put some paint here. Now before I forget, when we've done the last video about doing the collage paper or painty paper, whatever you want to call them, then I've done some focal point from it, but I forgot to tell you that basically you can do whatever you want with it. It can be a background, it can be something to make embellishments, it can be whatever you want. I just made a focal point from it. I'm taking the paint and just scraping it. You can scrape it just straight, or you can make some movement. It's up to you. Now why am I using cheap paint? Because it's less opaque from the heavyweight acrylic paint, and I prefer it because then I get all this movement and interest, like so. And of course the combination can vary, and it doesn't have to be like all this turquoise and then the pink. I'm just playing. This is, as I said before, highly addictive, so prepare to do lots and lots of painty paper. And just make sure you have a place to put them to dry. So this is one, and I've put this piece of paper just so the excess paint will go here. And of course when I'm finished, this can also be a painty paper or collage paper. So just going again, I'm going to show you with this cheap gouache paint. As I said, it can be even a finger paint that you give to kids. It's really doesn't matter. I think I want some yellow with this magenta, and it doesn't have to be 3 colors, or you can put whatever you want on the page. Just play, and you see, I'm just having fun with it. Now of course this is not the end. After everything is dry, I will show you what else I'm doing to make these painty papers more interesting. This is just the beginning. Here we go, another painty paper to play with. So this was the cheap gouache paints, and now I'm just scraping the rest of the paint. You see how, because it's not opaque, all kinds of interesting things are happening here. When you put this kind of paper under your working area, then this is what's called the drop paper, and again you can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. Okay, so let's take another printer paper, and of course you can also put some metallics. You can just play with it. I've got some, this is some light blue metallic. I've got some light green metallic paint, and let's see, let's put another drop here, like so. As you can see, when I have a paint on my card, I'm going back and forth to mix the colors and to create more interesting pattern on my page. Now I can scrape the excess paint, or I can leave it like so. Of course it will just take more time to dry. Here we go. Moving this aside, and once again just scraping the excess. I'm already loving this drop paper. Okay, so now I want to show you another thing with this scraping of paint. Let's drop some, this is a neon pink. I'm putting some drops randomly, okay, and let's take some purple. I'm just playing. And I don't know, let's take this turquoise or light blue, whatever. It says turquoise, it doesn't look so much like turquoise. Okay, so we've got all these drops on the page. Now wait like 2 to 3 seconds. What will happen is that the paper will soak part of the paint, and it will create something interesting when we are scraping the paint. So I'm starting here with the pink, but I'm taking it to the edge so I will have coverage. Oops. Yeah, I've got lots and lots of paint underneath, not completely dry. So you see what happens where the drops are. Now we've got some interesting pattern to our page. Moving this aside. Okay. So another thing that is interesting and that you can play with, I'll just do one more on deli paper. Now deli paper, it's a different thing in every country or continent for that matter. When I first encountered videos about that use deli paper, I went looking for it here, and here deli paper is just waxed paper from both sides and you can't do anything with it. So I was searching and looking for what can be deli paper here, and deli paper here, it's just sandwich paper. You wrap sandwiches with it. and it's cheap, so it's great, and it's not completely opaque. Another great thing about it, and it has some a more smooth side and a matte side, and we are working on the matte side. Okay, so the paint here is a little bit wet. Let's hope I can do this. Okay, matte side up, and of course now playing with the paints. Haven't used it in a lot of time, and it's gloopy. I don't know what to call it. Okay, let's put some, I don't know, a little bit of red, and it doesn't have to be on one side. As I showed you, it can be all kinds of dots or whatever. Just play with it, have fun. That's the most important thing. Some orange. Okay, I've got lots and lots of very old paints here. I've got some neon orange. Let's put it like this, and again some yellow. Okay, this is gonna be very, very bright. Scraping so it will cover. Now be careful with deli paper, it's a lot thinner, so lots of paint can tear it. It's getting wet and it can tear, so be careful with it. Okay, of course, if you are not satisfied, you can always let it dry and then add more on top. So just moving this, using the rest of the paint. I'm just putting the excess paint on where I have white, and as I said, now I will have another interesting Painty paper, and this could be a background. I can cut focal points, I can cut embellishments, I can cut strips and do some like a very colorful washi tape, whatever you want to do. Here we go. Loving this. And of course you can stamp on it and stencil on it and do whatever you like. Okay, so I'm going to let all this paint dry, and then we'll come back and do a little bit more to make those Painty papers, collage papers, more interesting. I'll be back. And I'm back. Here are all the Painty papers are done, and they are dry. Now usually what I do on this kind of Painty papers is I add some details, embellishment. Of course you can do, as I said, whatever you want. You can stencil on it, you can stamp on it. What I do is either take a metallic acrylic markers, or just acrylic markers like Posca pens, and I also got something that I bought on AliExpress. And why do I use this is because once they are dry, they are permanent. You can also use all kinds of alcohol-based markers like Sharpie. The most important thing is to for it to be permanent, because when you are going to use this, if it's a background, embellishment, collage, you are using wet stuff like glue, and you don't want the glue to activate whatever you're putting on. So that's why use anything that is permanent on top of this. So I've got this paper. I'm going to move all this aside, and we are going to do some stuff. So I've got this, and I've got this pink Posca pen. Let's take yeah, okay. So I have this pink here, so I figured why not use this, and it doesn't want to work. Why is that? Because I'm making a video, that's why it's not working. Hey, okay, moving on. Nothing wants to work. Here we go. Okay, and now I'm just again having fun. Part of it I'm going with the movement I've done with the scraping of the paint. Part of it is not. I'm just, as I said, having fun. Make whatever pattern, whatever embellishment that you feel will add to the paper. So this is the easiest and simplest way that I will give some interest to the page, and this is a pink metallic pen. Of course, if you don't like this kind of lines, do whatever you like. Do circles, do whatever. Just add something that will give more interest. I can work on a painty paper, collage paper like this for hours if I decide that's what I want to do. So, moving this aside, taking another one. And let's see. Let's take, I don't know, let's take this. This is a permanent marker, something like Sharpies, and again I can do something like this, and I can make it more noticeable on the page. The point is to add details and to have fun. There are no rules. Do whatever you like, and if I like this, great. Don't like it, do something else. And I can decide, it doesn't have to be all the way. I can decide that I want some circles. Let's have fun. Like so. And all kinds of sizes. And already this paper that we just scraped some paint on is a lot more interesting. Now, of course, I can take acrylic paint and some circle lids and stamp on. You can do so many things to make something like this interesting. It's really up to you, and also what you have on hand. If you only got acrylic paints, then use the acrylic paints to do something like this. It doesn't have to be permanent markers. And here we go, another page. Let's do one more, or maybe two more, I don't know. Okay, so I've got this. I think I'm going with gold. I really like this wavy line, so that's what I usually do. Again, don't like it, do something else. And also I like adding the metallics because they are giving a little bit of shimmer to the page. These printer pages are soaking the paint in and sometimes, as you can see, they look a little bit dull. So the metallic just brings everything, I don't know, it looks better. And I'm adding some yellow acrylic paint, marker, whatever. I know that it's not a lot noticeable, but again, it's part of what you decide. I can decide now that I'm taking some red or magenta paint and do something that will stand out on the page, or something that will go with it. It's really up to you if you want something to go with or in contrast. So here we go. Let's take another one, and now this one turned out quite bland. There are not enough I don't know, colors. They blended together, so I'm taking this green green Posca pen and adding details. Okay, maybe some of this. Okay, so let's take just want to show. Okay, so you've seen all kinds of stuff that I can do with it, and just so you will see what I'm talking about, what the things that you can do. And let's see, I've got, okay, I'm bringing some punches, and let's take this messy drop paper, just so you will see how easy and how fun this is. I'm just taking right now the white stuff, just so I can get into where the paint is, and look at this, how beautiful this is, just from leftover paint that I've scraped on the drop paper. So this is one. Of course I can continue punching this. Let's take, I've got a butterfly. If we are having a flower, let's do one butterfly. Here we go, beautiful butterfly. And of course, as I said, I can do all kinds of stuff here. I'm just going to take some black permanent marker, and I'm going to do some circles. I just want to show you how you can play with this kind of painty papers. Like so. Okay, so we've got this, and I'm going to bring, where are my tags? always have some tags that I can play with them. Okay, so I don't have a blank one. I will do it on the other side. I've got this tag. I'm going to put it on this side. So I'm going to place it here. I'll just mark so I'll know where to cut. Here we go. Here we are. A tag, great one, I think. Of course, not everybody will like something like that. And let's do one more example. Let's take this one and let's bring in some stamp. And of course I will not find it right now. Okay, here we go. Let's take some stamp, and of course I can also just decide do some freehand like this, cut as many as I want and use them in an art journal page, in collage, in whatever I want to use them. Here we go. I can continue embellishing. I can add more details. I'm being quick about it. I want to show you all kinds of stuff. Here we go. And as I said, I can also stamp. It doesn't have to be with black. I'm just grabbing this because it's easier stamping. And now I can fussy cut it. Of course, this can also be a background. It doesn't have to be used for little pieces. So, what else? Of course, I can cut strips and do all kinds of like washi tape and basically have fun with all these painty papers. I hope that next video will be with some of these painty papers. Not sure yet, but that's it for now. So I hope you have fun scraping paint on paper. I need to say it 5 times quickly. That would be fun. So thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.